Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
An overwhelming number or amount. A flood of requests. A large flow. Light that is a source of artificial illumination having a broad beam, used in photography. Fill quickly beyond capacity, as with a liquid. The images flooded his mind. The rising of a body of water and its overflowing onto normally dry land. The act of flooding, filling to overflowing. Supply with an excess of. Flood the market with tennis shoes. The occurrence of incoming water, between a low tide and the following high tide. A tide in the affairs of men which, taken at the flood, leads on to fortune. Become filled to overflowing. Our basement flooded during the heavy rains. Cover with liquid, usually water. The swollen river flooded the village. An overwhelming number or amount. Charge someone with too many tasks. Fill or cover completely, usually with water. Fill quickly beyond capacity, as with a liquid. The rising of a body of water and its overflowing onto normally dry land. A heavy rain. An overwhelming number or amount. The rising of a body of water and its overflowing onto normally dry land. Plains fertilized by annual inundations. An overwhelming number or amount. A torrent of abuse. A heavy rain. A violently fast stream of water, or other liquid. The houses were swept away in the torrent. A natural flow of groundwater. A large flow. The rapid and continuous delivery of linguistic communication, spoken or written. A sudden rapid flow, as of water. She attacked him with an outpouring of words. The pouring forth of a fluid. Flow or run over, a limit or brim. The occurrence of surplus liquid, as water, exceeding the limit or capacity. A large flow. Overflow with a certain feeling. Light that is a source of artificial illumination having a broad beam, used in photography. Light that is a source of artificial illumination having a broad beam, used in photography. Illuminate with floodlights. Light that is a source of artificial illumination having a broad beam, used in photography. Fill or cover completely, usually with water. Fill quickly beyond capacity, as with a liquid. The basement was inundated after the storm. Lowland that is seasonally flooded, has more woody plants than a marsh and better drainage than a bog. Fill quickly beyond capacity, as with a liquid. Drench or submerge or be drenched or submerged. The tsunami swamped every boat in the harbor. A situation fraught with difficulties and imponderables. He was trapped in a medical swamp. Clay or silt or gravel carried by rushing streams and deposited where the stream slows down. The rising of a body of water and its overflowing onto normally dry land. Gradual formation of new land, by recession of the sea or deposit of sediment. The act of flooding, filling to overflowing. A body of water that has been created by deliberately flooding an area. Many campsites were located near the flowage. gradual internal motion or deformation of a solid body, as by heat. Rock fracture and rock flowage are different types of geological deformation. Overeat or eat immodestly. Make a pig of oneself. Supply with an excess of. The quality of being so overabundant that prices fall. Supply with an excess of. The quality of being so overabundant that prices fall. The highest point of anything conceived of as growing or developing or unfolding. In the flood tide of his success. The occurrence of incoming water, between a low tide and the following high tide. The occurrence of incoming water, between a low tide and the following high tide. Arrive in great numbers. Charge someone with too many tasks. A collection of things or persons to be handled together. Often followed by, of, a large number or amount or extent. A batch of letters. All the loaves of bread baked at the same time. Batch together. Assemble or process as a batch. An agreement between parties, usually arrived at after discussion, fixing obligations of each. He rose to prominence through a series of shady deals. Wood that is easy to saw, from conifers such as pine or fir. Take into consideration for exemplifying purposes. Succeed in doing, achieving, or producing, something, with the limited or inadequate means available. Often followed by, of, a large number or amount or extent. A deal of trouble. Direct the course of, manage or control. A particular instance of buying or selling. It was a package deal. Give out as one's portion or share. Act on verbally or in some form of artistic expression. This book deals with incest. Do business. Offer for sale as for one's livelihood. She deals in gold. Administer or bestow, as in small portions. Deal a blow to someone. The cards held in a card game by a given player at any given time. Be in charge of, act on, or dispose of. I can deal with this crew of workers. A plank of softwood, fir or pine board. Behave in a certain way towards others. He deals fairly with his employees. Distribute cards to the players in a game. Who's dealing? Give, a specific card, to a player. He dealt me the queen of spades. Sell. Deal hashish. Take action with respect to, someone or something. How are we going to deal with this problem? The act of apportioning or distributing something. The captain was entrusted with the deal of provisions. The act of distributing playing cards. The deal was passed around the table clockwise. The type of treatment received, especially as the result of an agreement. He got a good deal on his car. An orderly crowd. A group of sheep or goats. Come together as in a cluster or flock. Often followed by, of, a large number or amount or extent. A church congregation guided by a pastor. A group of birds. Move as a crowd or in a group. Tourists flocked to the shrine where the statue was said to have shed tears. often followed by of, a large number or amount or extent. Often followed by of, a large number or amount or extent. Often followed by of, a large number or amount or extent. As many or as much as a hat will hold. A car that is old and unreliable. Arrange in stacks. Heap firewood around the fireplace. Often followed by of, a large number or amount or extent. A collection of objects laid on top of each other. Bestow in large quantities. He heaped him with work. Fill to overflow. Heap the platter with potatoes. An unofficial association of people or groups. They were an angry lot. Anything, straws or pebbles, etc. Taken or chosen at random. They drew lots for it. Often followed by of, a large number or amount or extent. A lot of money. Any collection in its entirety. Your overall circumstances or condition in life, including everything that happens to you. Has a happy lot. Administer or bestow, as in small portions. A parcel of land having fixed boundaries. He bought a lot on the lake. Divide into lots, as of land, for example. Old Testament, nephew of Abraham. God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah but chose to spare Lot and his family, who were told to flee without looking back at the destruction. The common people generally. Separate the warriors from the mass. The property of something that is great in magnitude. He received a mass of correspondence. Often followed by of, a large number or amount or extent. Formed of separate units gathered into a mass or whole. A body of matter without definite shape. A huge ice mass. A musical setting for a mass. An ill-structured collection of similar things, objects or people. A sequence of prayers constituting the Christian Eucharistic rite. Join together into a mass or collect or form a mass. Crowds were massing outside the palace. Roman Catholic Church and Protestant churches, the celebration of the Eucharist. The property of a body that causes it to have weight in a gravitational field. Informal terms for a difficult situation. A state of confusion and disorderliness. The house was a mess. Often followed by of, a large number or amount or extent. Make a mess of or create disorder in. He messed up his room. A large, military dining room where service personnel eat or relax. A meal eaten in a mess hall by service personnel. Eat in a mess hall. Soft semi-liquid food. A mess of porridge. Often followed by of, a large number or amount or extent. A candy that is flavored with a mint oil. Often followed by of, a large number or amount or extent. He made a mint on the stock market. Form by stamping, punching, or printing. Any member of the mint family of plants. Any north temperate plant of the genus Mentha with aromatic leaves and small mauve flowers. A plant where money is coined by authority of the government. As if new. In mint condition. The leaves of a mint plant used fresh or candied.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.